Namaskaram. Tonight we are moving all the way to another continent entirely, Brazil, South America. We are happy to greet Yogacharya Giriraj, who has had a long association with this Parampariyai. He has had many experiences with us and has an addition to completing the 6 months international teachers training course. Shared sadhana with us many times along with his family. He has brought his students to the ashram and led many through the correspondence course. He fell in love with the Hindu way of life and practices, pujas, mantras, and other rituals in his own environment. A lover of temples, he has visited the great shrines of Hinduism like Chidambaram many times. He has established a loyal core of students in Sao Paulo and holds regular classes. A lovable personality, cheerful and bright, he imparts the teachings of the Parampariyai with devotion. Let us enjoy sharing his yoga vision this evening. So, Namaste Giriraj and welcome, and over to you.
Namaste, Dhivya. Namaste, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here, to be interviewed by you and have the opportunity to talk to you and to the people who is watching us. Thank you so much for the introduction. It's a pleasure to be in this Parampariyai, to follow this Parampariyai, to be able to share this knowledge with the world. So I'm happy to be here. Yes.
Thank you so much. And so we'll get moving into the questions and looking out for a lot of interesting and different perspectives. Again, each time we get something new, and we can never say that was better than this, because every single person has their best coming out, I've seen through all these episodes. So welcoming you all to the 15th episode of the series Global Voices, Yoga in the Times of COVID-19 with Yogacharya Giriraj. So we'll be starting off and moving into our first section, the definition section. What is your own personal definition of the word yoga?
Okay. For me, yoga is living consciously or consciously living. As somebody say, it's a conscious evolution because it makes you to be aware of who you are and where you are and what you have to do. So, and it gives us so many tools for us to be aware, to be conscious, to know who you are. Like, it gives us the base as the yama niyama to follow the things we have to do, what's best to do in this planet, to live in a harmony. And also give us the tools of how to take care of our body, as the asanas is there. To take care of this vehicle, or as Tirumala says, our temple, we have to take care of our body. Our body is very important as well. And also give us the pranayamas to help us, first of all, to supply ourselves with oxygen, which is the base for us to live, and also to give the balance of our pranamaya kosha, which has these two polarities that should flow in a nice manner, and the pranayama help us to do that, and also help us to go even deeper, to go to our mind stuff, to start to learn about our mind, which is something that we will not understand much in the beginning, but then it gives us all these parts of the lower mind, like the chitta, manas, and then we start to understand it. So it's very helpful, because otherwise we're like lost. We're just doing things automatically. So the yoga is giving us, so it describes us our mind, and then also, of course, we have to experience. It's not something just to read and like a theory. It's a theory, but you have to experience, otherwise it won't work. And then we start to know also about our ego, how the egos work, how the egos identify with the wrong things. Like the ego is identified with an organ system, with sensory organs, which make us to feel separated. But we're not separated, but our ego as identify with your sensory organs, we feel as separated. And also the ego is identified with our lower mind. So we are thinking we are these memories, these sanskaras, but we're not that. So then we start to learn that all this stuff, and then all our body also, it's our higher intellect, our higher mind, start to be more refined. Because as we are learning about ourselves, we learn about our body, we learn about our breath, our energy, our mind. So then this higher mind, this frontal part start to develop more. So it's so amazing what yoga give to us, give like all the tools, like, okay, you are a human being. So these are the tools. It's not easy, of course, but it's not impossible. And give all the tools to live in a conscious way, with awareness, and go away from these automatic things that you're always doing the same thing the same way. No, it's like just stop it, and let's live it as a human, as Dr. Sir always says. We have to be a human. Go from this subhuman state and go to a human state. And then you can go to a cosmic state also, because we are also a cosmic being. We live in a universe. We don't live only in a house or in a country. We live in a planet, and this planet is in the universe. So it's good for us also sometimes to remember that you are living the universe, which is infinite. It's so big, and you are so tiny like this. So we stop to give so much importance to our problems, to our ego, and me and me. No, it's like we are everything. So it's nice also to contemplate this thought as well. So yoga gives all this truth to us. It's a blessing to be able to get in contact with this kind of knowledge, which is part of Sanatana Dharma, which is the eternal truth. So it will never die. This was thousands of years. It is here in the earth, and it will be forever. Even if the earth is here or not, if human beings are here or not, it's always going to be there, because it's connected us with the pure consciousness, with Shiva. So it will never die. So for me, yoga is living consciously, and it makes us to have skill in action, as Swamiji always says. Because if you are aware, you know how to act, not to react. So this is more or less what I feel yoga is. It's also I say also that yoga is our Guruji. But a Guruji which is close to us, not a Guruji which is up there somewhere. No, it's here because it's all the time. It's helping us to live better, to go through the obstacles, to go through a hard time. So it's all the time helping us and guiding us where you should go, where you should do, how you should think, and never finished. We are all the time learning, 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 learning how to be a human and how to live a yoga life. Yes.
Beautiful and wonderful how you brought in the definition of Swamiji as conscious evolution, and when you said it's conscious living or living consciously, and how you mentioned I would say that so many people, they feel like they are so great and they are like, oh, I'm so great, and I'm the best in everything. But when we come into all these great teachings, as you say, we come to know that we have still so much to go and it's never ending, and that we are so much. So wonderful thoughts, Giriraj, and thank you for sharing it with all of us. And moving on to the next one, the sadhana section. So you live in Brazil. The South Americans are well known for their emotional extremes. What yogic practice, in your experience, helps to stabilize these changing emotional moods?
I think the best practice for control the emotion is pranayama, because I think the emotion is very much related with the prana. So when you start to do the pranayama and start to learn about the prana and balance the prana, our emotions start to be balanced together, because they're very much related. So I think it's very, very important to do pranayama for everybody, of course. But to control the emotion, it's necessary. It's really necessary. I don't think the emotions are bad, but you have to know how to use them because it's part of us. The emotion is there. You cannot suppress them too much, otherwise it's harmful for us. But we have to control it. We have to know how to use it. You have to know how to express love, how to express compassion. When you have to cry, you cry, but not overdo it. Overdo it, it is not a good thing, but learn how to channelize it. It's very important. And I lived with many kinds of people in many different parts of the world, and I have experienced people who is more rational and they don't show emotion. And here in South America, the people are just show emotion, 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 and there is no the rational part. So I think this balance, I link the emotion with our anahata and the rational part with the Agnya chakra. And I think the connection with both of them is the way to go. It's not be only here and not be only here. We should connect, as Dr. Celso said in some of his class. This connection, and I think about this mental thing and the emotion is come from the heart, going together, and then it's wow, it's the key of life. It's like it's where we should go because the emotion it's beautiful when you show it as a relation also the bhakti movement a lot with emotions but you need to learn how to use it and when you learn how to use it I think the love just come and just the unconditional love come and you love everybody and you'll be cheerful and happy even when you are sad and it's difficult it's hard but you keep shining because we have to shine so I think the emotions help us but we have to learn how to use them and pranayama is it's very helpful for emotions and for everything actually. Yes.
Very true, Giriraj. As you say that we can't say that we have to avoid emotions because actually sometimes it's nice experiencing them and knowing them. Like okay, like when you are angry, as you when you experience it and when you come out of it, you can see how horrible it is, and some you can see many things and learn a lot from them. And as you said, pranayama is really good, and that's a real good tool. I wouldn't say a tool, but just to mention it because it's really helpful. And would you suggest any specific pranayama or all of them are okay?
Oh, I think the basic pranayamas. The basic pranayamas like the Sukha pranayama and the Saviti pranayama and the Loma pranayama and Viloma pranayama also because it's bring the balance about the solar and lunar. I think emotion is like this balance when you're too emotion, like are you are too solar, like overreacting and be angry and all this, or you are too lunar or very much sad and depression. So I think the Loma Pranayama, Viloma Pranayama, or even the Saviti Pranayama as well, it brings us this balance. You don't need to go to a very advanced pranayama. I think this basic pranayama, if the people could do it, it would change almost everything because it's really a helpful tool, helpful tool.
Very nice, Giriraj. And moving on to our next one, the contemporary yoga scene. What is your opinion of the status of the contemporary yoga scene, especially in the present time of the corona crisis?
Oh, I think the yoga is helping a lot because people nowadays they have to stay at home or they have to stay alone or if the people they live with. So it's not easy. It's not easy to be with yourself. Now there is no escape. The people like in the West, they cannot go to the bar, they cannot go to the party, they cannot like escape from yourself, from themselves. So as yoga is this big tool to help us to understand ourselves. And now it's become easier to find like in the lives, in the online classes. So it's helping to go inside their house, the yoga. We are bringing yoga to their house, to the people's house, and it's completely necessary nowadays. Otherwise, the people are going crazy. Because when they get in contact with themselves, they said, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm like this," because they are not aware of who they are. They're just doing. And now it's not time for doing all the time. You have to do, of course, but it's time to be. You have, we need to learn how to be. And yoga is this tool. In the Corona time, it's giving you this opportunity to be. Stop doing, start to be. And nothing is better than yoga to help you to be. Because this is what is yoga is about. Okay, you have to do, we live in a world, we are in a body, we have to do things to live. But we have to be first. First be, and then after you do, so the things change completely. So I'm learning a lot now with this online class. I'm giving online class, and it's changed my mind as well, because before I thought the yoga wouldn't be possible to teach like in a camera or online and all this. But now it's showing us that it's possible. Like the life that Dr. Ananda is giving us is like such a gift for us to keep going in this time and have this great opportunity to be with him every day. One day ago, 1 year ago, for us it would be impossible, and now it's completely possible. So it gives us a great opportunity to learn and to be ourselves. So yoga is extremely important nowadays. It always was, but now it's wow, it's really important, really important.
Very nice. And again, we get your side also, and of course, everyone has a common thing saying that many people didn't believe that yoga could become a teaching online, and it was more like you have to meet the teacher in person and all that. But now that we can see, I wouldn't say this is the only best one. Like, of course, meeting in person would be really perfect. But this is also nice and to keep us going in this pandemic and come over all the emotional things as we discussed in the previous question. And it really helps us a lot, as you say. And it's nice to know that you are also keep going on with your students and just keep going. And we'll keep the flame of light always on, never off. So now coming actually to quite an important question, and I thought you would be the best one to answer. From the yogic character section, modern man practices situational ethics. He does whatever he wants. How does this harmonize with the code of yama and niyama?
Yes, it's a very good question actually. The modern men nowadays, they're following their ego and their lower mind. What the samskaras and the ego in this instinct of survival, they follow it. And they think this is freedom. Okay, oh, my ego wants to do like this. Okay, I will do it. Nobody's gonna hold me. And they think this is freedom, but it's not freedom because they're bind to their ego and to their lower mind. And when it comes to yamas and niyama, the people they avoid it because they think that's something that obey them to do something. Oh, you have to do that, you should not do that. But it's not like this. Just tools for us to understand with consciousness. And then when you understand it, you see clearly that's the best things to do. Sometimes, of course, it's not easy. We have to go against this nature that wants to survive and the ego that wants everything for him. But when you understand it, you see, yes, that's the way to do. If everybody could follow yamas and niyamas, this world would be a completely different world. It would be a completely different planet, completely different planet. But the ego now becomes so important, and to do what the ego is saying become the freedom. And it's wow. It's difficult even when I'm giving class to teach the yamas and yamas. I need to be very careful the way that I say, how I say, because also the people here, they have the background of Catholic Church. So they're related with the 10 commandments. But the way that the church used to give these 10 commandments, which is also really good, but they obey the people to do it without understand it. So that's the problem. And then as I'm just saying the step by step, if you not do the yama niyama with consciousness, it's gonna bind you. And the yama niyama is not to bind you, it's to free yourself. So it's completely the way around. It's completely different. So I think if the modern man could understand it, the yama niyamas, the planet will change for sure. For sure, we would live in such a more harmonious place, not harming people, beings, not or harming ourselves. Oh, speaking the truth to the world, to ourselves, cleansing. Oh, doing the tapas, swadhyaya, Ishvara pranidhana. Like, if we do yamas and yamas, actually, we almost do not have to do anything more because it's a package almost complete. Of course, we can do more. But the yama and yama is like the real base. If everybody should only follow yama and yamas, everything should be fine. Because everything is there. Everything is inside of yama and yama. When you go deep in each of them, everything's there. So if the modern man could understand it, it would be so nice. But as we are in Kali Yuga, so it's difficult to have this hope that everybody would understand it. But we are doing our best to share it, and who are ready to understand it, will understand. So yeah, we should keep going. At least we're trying to live it and try to be a one example to the others to follow it as well.
Very
Yes.
true and really nice, Giriraj, again. As you were just saying, we are in the Kali Yoga, so everything is upside down. So, yeah, but just, because now it's almost like evil is more than good, and it looks like evil is winning, but always we know the conclusion will never change. The good will always triumph and beat up the evil. So, we'll just try to keep being good as much as possible. And
That's the thing.
yeah, to your final question of the slow question answer, the yoga teaching section. Mm. You feel to teach people in larger groups or in small groups? What would be your choice?
Hmm. I think to teach a smaller group for me works better because you can be more in contact with each of them. And I don't know, I feel when I see this big class, this big course with 100 people, I don't feel that there is really a good connection between the teacher and the student. So to teach, the smaller group for me is much better. Like my class always is small, like maximum 10, 15 people. 15 for me, it's the maximum, I think. After that, I feel that start to be too much crowded. Too much people, too much ego, too much mind. No, it start to be mess, I think, in my opinion. So small is better. It's different. If you give a talk, like for a lot of people, I think it's okay because you just give a talk and it's different. But when I go to practice and to learn yoga, to live yoga and to teach and share yoga with a smaller group, in my opinion, it works much better. And as I seen in the traditional yoga places, and the Asian also, the Asian way of teaching, it's always small, like the Gurukulam is small, it's not for 100 people as it used to be before, it used to be a small group. And the Ananda Ashram, what I like a lot as well, it's a small group. When I see this place with hundreds of people, I feel it's okay. No, it's not a problem, it's not wrong, there's nothing wrong actually. But I feel that there is some connections that it's difficult to make when you are too much people, too. So smaller group for me works much better. Mhm.
Very good, Giriraj. Again, the explanation of your side. That's this question mainly for your perspective and how you deal with it and how you think that you will be more comfortable, as you say, when we have more people. There is that ego arising, as you say. You know, when we are, you said, that's like, I really like that point. Like you said, everything else that happens, but especially the ego. When you have, like, you know, instead of 15, if you have 25 or 30, it's like, wow, look at us, something.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so really nice, and we'll go into the rapid fire. And looking
Mhm.
out, you have to face 10 questions.
Okay.
Okay, so shall we start?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so your first one is COVID-19.
It's opportunity for us to change. It's difficult time, but it's opportunity for the planet to change.
Very nice.
Yes.
And your second one is Bindu.
No, the Bindu is a point when you can focus our power, our mind in just one point. So I think the Bindu is when duality finished, when the oneness started, because it's just one point. When you get everything and put just in one point, and then realize that everything is just one. So for me, the Bindu means this oneness.
Really nice. And the next one is chakras.
No, the chakras is a plane of existence. Is for me is the subtle we can go as human being. To go to the chakra level, it's the subtlest we can go. And it's amazing. I like the chakras a lot. And I don't know how much I can really feel the chakras because it's so high and to go to the Anandamaya kosha. It's wow, it's God itself. But yes, it's our essence. Is our essence.
Beautiful. And the fourth one is you.
Oh, me. I like to see myself as an eternal yoga sadhaka. As I know, I'm teaching all this, but I feel as I'm always learning. Even when I'm teaching, who is teaching is not actually me itself. It's the knowledge which is going through me, and I'm learning all the time that I'm teaching. I'm learning. So I like to be in this point that I'm always a student. I'm always a yoga sadhaka. I can have a title of Yogacharya and all this, but I identify myself as always yoga sadhaka because I'm always learning. I'm always learning. I never know everything. You never know it. So for me, the best description for myself is yoga, eternal yoga sadhaka. Yeah.
Nice.
With all my humility, of course. Yes.
Okay, so the next one is people.
People. Mm, I think the people are like teacher for us because when you have interaction with people, we learn. So this is how it's so important to have interaction with people because when you interact with them, we learn about ourselves and about themselves because we are all one actually. So when you see another one, actually see yourself. So what you can see on them is what you can see in yourself as well, and you can see the good things that you should keep, and you see the bad things that you should work on it. So I think people, it's a good teacher. It's not easy to be with people. We have this feeling to be like alone, just with ourselves, because when you start to interact, it's take a lot of effort to understand, to learn, to not react, to act. And so people are teachers to teach what's good and what's not good as well. Yes.
Beautiful point. And your next one is Amaji.
Wow, Amaji. First of all, when I think Amaji, I think on Siddha. The first word, the first thing that comes on my mind is a Siddha. She is really a living Siddha. She is like the embodiment of the ancient knowledge of the ancient rishis. Wow, she's like a star on earth. She really like a star on earth, and I have such a big respect to her. It's such an honor to be able to talk to her, to be with her, and to have her in my heart. That's the thing. We don't need to be personally all the time, but she's in my heart. And that's all that matter actually, because to be able to meet such a person in this time on earth, wow, I feel that's a lot of punya from us to be able to meet some person like her. And she's a Siddha. The Siddha explain everything, and she's like, wow, a perfect being on earth. So nice to talk about her and feeling her, and oh, it's very uplifting, very uplifting. She's such a example, such example for all of us.
Okay, so then your next one is Karma.
Karma is another big teacher, great teacher. Yeah, it's the greatest teachers because it's through karma that we learn. Is on when the hard time comes, eh, is when we learn. Because when it's easy, we're just enjoying it. But as we're living in a body in this planet, the karma is there. So the karma is a way of teaching. It's not a punishment. We should not see karma as a punishment. We should see it as a teacher because it comes to you to show you what you have to learn at that time. And each one of us will have different lessons. There is not something that everybody should follow. Each one will have different lessons, and everyone is perfect on their side. So the karma come to us and show us, oh, look at this. This maybe is not good, you have to change it, or this was not working, you have to change it. But as we are so attached to that, it's difficult for us. So when the karma comes, and it comes almost all the time, you suffer, it's always too difficult, but make us stronger. Without the karma, we would not be in a human body. So it's necessary to learn it and to learn how to follow the dharma, which is the opposite.
Full and really, you are really bringing out a lot of great and good thoughts. And it could be teachings for many others, and including also. So the next one is Yoga Sutra.
Wow, the Yoga Sutra, it's such a gem. It's like a very precious diamond, which is like everything is there. It's amazing. So in 196 sutras, I think,
Yes.
everything is there. Everything you think of is there, and in so different levels. In so different as Patanjali was like really a great man who came. As Dr. says that he's a time traveler. Because the things that is in the Yoga Sutras is from the past, is from the present, and is from the future. It's like, wow. It's such another a big tool for us again to live as a human being. It's such a present, such a gift that Patanjali left to the human beings to understand it, to live it, because not only understanding, you have to experience, because this is yoga. Yoga without experience is not really yoga, just something to contemplate. But we have to contemplate it and you have to live it. So the Yoga Sutra is the summarize of everything, I think. Yes.
And the next one is Brahmacharya.
Brahmacharya, very important, especially nowadays, because to have this sexual control, it's necessary. It's really necessary. In the Western country, it's really different. The people, it's a little bit too much. But we have to follow it. This sensual, sexual control is something that we have to use it. It's all right. It's part of us, but we have to control it. We have to control, otherwise it will control us. So you have to control it. And also the brahmacharya is the spirit in the Indian culture that from the very young age to, I think, 27, 25, something like this, is a time to study. So all this energy that we have as a teenager and a young kid or young boy or young girl, to study, to learn, use it to learn it, and after you live a marriage life. So the brahmacharya, it's necessary for everybody, for everybody.
And your final one is Nirodha.
Nirodha is Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Is the sensation. It's the sensation of when you say Nirodha, I always link Nirodha to this sutra because for me Nirodha is very much related to this sutra. To stop this whirlpool of our lower mind that's all the time take us from the present. All the times bring us down, like take us from the reality. So you have to have Nirodha to live the present, to live as a human, and to be here right now.
Wow, Giriraj, such a rapid fire, a nice experience again for me and for you also, I hope so. And for everyone watching it also. So it has been a pleasant experience to hear of your yogic insights expressed in your beautiful South American accent. Thank you, and may you continue to grow along with us in yoga. And thank you for giving up your valuable time. And it has been such a pleasure to have you part of this series again on 15th episode. And hope we all keep growing and glowing in yoga.
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you to you also, Dee. You are such an amazing girl. Since I met you as a young kid, you are always amazing. The things that you do, the things that you say, your singing is such a nectar to my heart and my ears. And it's a big pleasure to be interviewed by you, to have this opportunity. Thank you so much as well. Was so nice. It's a very nice way of learning for me to learn, you to learn, and everybody to learn. Very, very nice way of sharing. Thank you so much, Dee. Love you. All right.